The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on? Well, S&P's up 14 points, Dow's up 91, NASDAQ's up 55. What we don't have is any kind of broad market volume. In fact, we're probably going to come if the trend holds for today. No guarantee it will in the last 30 minutes of the day, but if the trend holds today, we will have a lighter volume than we had on Friday. So not seeing a lot of people getting all froggy here. 3.6 billion shares as we start the show on the CBOE market summary, our market volume summary, which is all the stocks on everything being traded. So I'll give you a little idea. They do break it down into the NASDAQ and the NYSE, but it gives you kind of a little bit better idea out there about what's coming. And, of course, you can always also look at it in dollars. $150 billion traded so far today, but that's pretty wimpy. We've had $600, $700 billion in a day. $150 billion doesn't do much for me. So we'll see how the rest of the day comes out. Now, after the bell tonight, we've got some earnings tomorrow morning, some earnings, and after the bell tomorrow night, some earnings. If we get to it, we'll talk about those charts. None of them look good. I'm going to tell you that maybe they do okay, but on any other given day, I would probably short all three if I knew that they didn't have earnings. Now, maybe they say something nice after the bell, but if you just went in a room, gave me these three charts, and asked me if they were higher or lower tomorrow, I'd say lower. So we'll see. Getting a little bit of a bounce out today, but don't know. Maybe there's some bigger things going on, but we'll talk about those as we go through the day. As you said, not a lot of volume. Market's up 15 points. Could we just kind of hover out here? Yeah. Am I thinking that we get a breakout, any kind of recent high in the next couple of days? Man, it would be tough. But we'll see. So far, that's about it. I suspect that we've come real close, and it's probably in the next 48 hours. I think we've hit some kind of high, or will have some kind of significant high on crude. It just looks incredibly anemic from the news today and the last couple of days of trading. Just looks like there's not many other people on the other side. Still higher, but does not mean that it couldn't. It kind of looks to me like a gasp. Now, does it really take a header or just pull back a little bit? I think we've got some kind of midterm high in crude right now from just the run. And as that pulls back, it correlates to about 30% of the S&P cash. Any kind of weakness there, any kind of weakness in Apple, you've got a couple of points of almost single point failure in the markets. Doesn't mean that they will, but either one of those really starts seeing some weakness. That would be it. Apple itself is kind of interesting. After getting down to 185.10 yesterday, it's up about $3 off that at 188.19. And I would say the action's over for this in the week, but the puts are amazingly expensive right now. The 175s, when I looked at them earlier, were almost $2. Someone thinks that this does have the opportunity to go back down to at least 185. So I see a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of people think that the market could go a little bit lower in the next couple of days. I see chart evidence that says the market could go down a little bit lower. But you know what? I don't have a whole lot of risk out there. There's some pretty narrow opportunities out there to put money at risk with options expiration. We're going to be talking about that tonight at 5:30 at the start of my webinar on options expiration trading and on just trading normal options moves. And we'll talk about all of that today. We're going to go to David in Framingham. How you doing, David?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
David, thank you. I'm looking at American Airlines to see where it's headed.
Well, I think you're pretty close. Let's take a look at it here. Well, you got the move. I think we talked about before that I thought that the airlines would move a day or so before crude. And this is another reason why I think. You made your high volume exhaustion low on April 26 at 44.55. Getting a move today. There isn't a lot of juice in this, but you are filling that gap. And I think we're starting to do the counter trend rally on this. On just a standard retracement, you're looking at 47.55. You already long this?
Yes, I am.
Where at?
Yeah, around 42.
Okay. 47.66, 49.72, and what? 51.88 are your percentage Fibonacci moves higher. You've got the big down day of the 10th of April on 12.8 million shares, which started this move all the way to 40.55. So I don't know where you would take your money. I'd probably take it at this 47.66, 65. Yeah. Between that and the 0.5 at 49.72. Both of those are right into the bottom of that candle. That's where maximum resistance is going to be. If crude really fell out of bed during that time, then I think you could look at it. But yeah, I kind of like looking at the airlines as go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at the 48.68, David, at the February low there, and there's a 48.85. I thought that they may be resistance areas there, so I was thinking around 48 maybe if it gets up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. 47.66 really starts your resistance levels.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, so you're right in there, and if the volume gets up there and no volume, you've got it. But to me, I'm kind of thinking that the whole market kind of pulls back. So there's a handful of people trading the other side of this. You want to hang through the break?
Yeah, thank you, David.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Anyway, we're back. Hopefully, we still have David from Framingham. Okay.
Right here.
Any other questions on this? Go ahead.
David, is this a W formation down here from the end of April going, and then I had to wait for it, it was good that it went through the 4401 in the middle there. Is that a W formation?
I don't see a W. What I see is everybody and their dog went short on April 26th. Hopefully, if you're watching on Tiger TV or in the Den.
Right.
You can see this big black part of my volume candle.
Okay.
And that tells you, do I have that? I don't have that. I'll give you the actual numbers here. Give me just a second here. Okay. AAL, right?
Right.
Okay. That is April 26th. Okay. You had 16, almost 17% short going in onto that day, when normally you were having, you had a couple of days there that were 18% short, but you had a ton of volume that day, and you had a ton of shorts. Normally when you get that, it's a fairly good exhaustion day move. You went sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. Okay. Volume really didn't increase. You didn't see a lot of people go in there and trying to wash this thing out at $40.55. So I had a few people in there buying. You popped up higher today. No volume so far. So kind of looks like that. Let me see what the short interest is on this one. We got, it's been going down. The end of March, you had 6 days to cover. The middle of April, you had 4 days to cover. You still have 3 days to cover, and almost 6% short interest on the last reporting period. So you got a handful of shorts out here that are on the wrong side. So I kind of like that about what we talked about. I don't see
Yeah.
Why isn't that doing
Would
that?
you
There
see
you go.
another couple of days up here, or will take 3 more days from today? Would you think?
I'm thinking that if oil comes down, you get this pretty quick. There's another stock that was lined up very much like this that we had a caller or somebody emailed me about, and it kind of looks like the same thing a little bit. Now, it's a tech stock, so I think it's run a little farther.
Okay.
But it was Western Digital.
Okay.
Same kind of thing, came down on heavy volume back on the 27th. This is going to be a bigger theme, I think, through the end of the show when I talk about a couple other stocks. But it came down on the 27th of April with 9 million shares on Western Digital. It's back up here with 4.6 million or 4.7 million shares, so it's going to be light. But this kind of looks about the same thing, and if you look at this, it comes right up to the 382 on this one. So you got kind of the same kind of vibe, almost the same kind of pattern out here. You didn't have as many days going sideways, but you had a handful, 4 or 5 days, 6 days going sideways. Then it started coming back up. I think this is kind of the pattern, but I think you got to get out when you hit, basically $87 in Western Digital, and what did we say, 45 on yours, whatever it was?
47, I believe.
It's 47. So this is kind of the pattern I'm seeing. But one of the things I wanted to tell you, and I guess we can just go on to this, is right before markets tend to really whip you badly to the downside, I'm not going to say it's happening. I'm just going to say that I see a lot of stocks doing exactly this. And it's this Turtle Beach here, HEAR. There's a handful of other stocks that I'm going to look at too. You get these massive runs on $1 stocks or $2 stocks, or stocks that have just been dogs. In fact, today, what is it? It's Boot. Take a look at that one real quick. What you see is just a bunch of these stocks that just out of nowhere seem to get massive volume, and no one's really talking about them. They're not the headline stocks. And when you see these kind of small cap, huge rockets, kind of Roman candle moves in these things, they always make me think that it's time to get a little nervous. Now, the thing would be, if crude comes back, then the airlines are probably going to hold as good or better than the rest of the market. So it's not a bad trade even into a declining market unless we get totally walloped. But I think maybe that's more like next week. If we're going to get some real downside action, I think it's going to be next week. So, and probably on lighter volume.
On the oil, you mean, Dave? Coming down?
No, on the broad markets.
Oh, on the broad market. Yeah, you closed
yeah.
Yeah.
On the like the OSI and the OIH.
Okay.
I mean, if it doesn't break right here, you got just a little bit higher to go, but you got no volume today. Like on the OIH, you got 3.5 million shares back into 7.5 million shares into those candles. Right. So we're about half the volume with an hour and a half left to go. Are you watching on Tiger TV or the Den?
No, not right now.
Okay. If you go back and look at it, you'll see on my Power Law Vector indicator number from the January 23rd high to this February 9th low. I had a 10 on the way down, and from April 2nd low, where it tested the previous low on less than half the volume, which is a pretty good buy signal, back up to this high, you only got about a 6.2. So we're way, the energy out here on this right-hand side, this is a W, by the way. And do we go up there and test that previous high? I don't know. This volume is so light that I'm thinking that you could flip it any second. So that's why I'm thinking maybe in the next couple of days, maybe before Friday, we could see some kind of at least start of a pullback. The last really big day that I see in this could take you back to $25.50 in the OIH.
Okay.
And if I keep on looking at those rig counts on Friday from Baker Hughes, it looks to me like they're up there drilling in caribous and polar bears and anything that they can get some oil out of, that they're putting the rigs up. So it's only the timing is when does all that massive new supply hit? They're also, I think, working on getting a little bit more out of Anwar soon. So I think supply and demand is going to be a little bit more supply and demand probably about the same. But it just seems to me like a very crowded trade right now in crude. So I kind of like your play because even if crude doesn't really come down, it's probably not going higher. And that may be enough to get your trade going.
Okay.
So.
All right, David. I appreciate that. And thank you,
you
very
bet.
much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And what else do we have? Okay. Let's see what else is going up here. Up 13 points on the SP cash. Like I said, volume is very, very light today. And on Wednesday, very interesting. Maybe we're getting into summertime volume, but it just seems to me options expiration week, Wednesday, man, we should have some juice. And, of course, after the bell tonight, Cisco, tomorrow morning, Walmart, and after the bell tomorrow night, AMAT. So maybe it's just hurry up and wait. We'll be back after this.
Are you an options trader that's looking for that extra edge when placing trades? David White will be hosting a webinar on May 16th, which is the Wednesday leading up to options expiration Friday in May, where he'll discuss in depth the methodology he uses for trading options near expiration, including swing trading setups and expiration day trading scenarios. Subscribers to each of Dave's newsletters, Path of Least Resistance and the Technology Insider, gain access to this 60-minute webinar, which will be archived if you cannot attend live. Dave has had some great option trades recently for his subscribers. See for yourself the trading methodology he uses when trading options by signing up today for either of his newsletters, and we'll see you Wednesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. for option trading near expiration, analyzing swing trades and expiration day scenarios. For all the details and to sign up today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1960. Yeah, it is 1960. Physicist Theodore Maiman creates the first laser light using a synthetic ruby crystal device. He was not the first to develop the theories behind the laser, nor the first to apply for patents, but he was the first to create an operating laser device. Laser stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. In a famous paper in 1917, Einstein thought of it. I think he died in 1948, so never got to see it himself. The one in 1960 was basically a photo flash strobe hooked up to a ruby that had mirrors on both ends. On one end, they poked a little hole in it, a little pinhole, so that the light would bounce back and forth. They found out that light liked to travel together and would help grab other photons and help them move at the same speed. And eventually, they'd all be traveling in the same wave and pop out that little pinhole in the front. And they'd all be marching together in lockstep. That's what makes a laser. That's why you can point a 100-watt laser at the moon, and it will bounce back. You can see the reflection off the, what do they call it? Can't remember. It's just like a reflector that they put up there, kind of like a roadside reflector up there behind it, a big semi. But Einstein foresaw all of this in his mind, without any real studies, but 1917 thought of it. 1960 they made it, and a couple years after this they got CO2 lasers working that weren't just kind of pulse lasers. They were actually continuous lasers. And okay, by 1980 we've got them in DVD players. So that's it. Okay. What else do we have going on out here? Okay. Let's take a look here. Is that it? That's it. Cisco after the bell tonight. Take two, NetEase, and Jack in the Box. So let's go ahead and get to. I wanted to take a look at Cisco, CSCO. And let's see what we got here. Now, like I said, these stocks, none of these stocks coming out on earnings look very good at all. Cisco is one of them. Had a previous high of 72 million shares on March 13th, $45.83. Saw that high, tucked back in on the May 10th high with this 25 million shares. So almost 1/3 the volume of this March 13th high. When we look at it, actually, it goes back to February 15th for the volume. But that was within a 0.5 percentage point of the high, and that's what I use, the highest volume back in here, and that's why that says 72.2 million shares from March 13th. Anyway, we went above it, never got the volume. We've pulled back into it, and even pulling back a little. Now, tomorrow morning, another one that we've talked about has been Walmart. Now, Walmart's bounced off this gap at 82 to $80. It started going up on the 11th. I suspect that we're going to get yet another gap down in Walmart in the morning. This had its big gap off February 20th. I don't think anything's better. I've been to Walmart a couple of times in the last few weeks. Lines around the block at the cashiers, can't get through the automatic, what do they call those, self-registers? I don't know what they call those things. Self-checkout? I think that's what they're called. Half of those are broke. The lines were around and into the ladies' unmentionables. Guess I mentioned them anyway. So it looks like they're doing everything. I didn't catch this right after Christmas, but this looks even worse of what they did right after Christmas, which is try to cut every kind of cost that they could. Maybe this gets better, but everything that I look at tells me that Walmart is going to continue to have problems from pricing pressure from Amazon. And you know what? I just don't see how anything got any better at Walmart. My guess is that we could get down below 80 in the morning if the numbers are as bad as they were last time. And everything I see outside, now I guess that's just around Tampa here, but anecdotally, it doesn't look good. I wouldn't be long this, but maybe I'm wrong on all three, but neither one of them seem to look any good to me. And really what you see out here is what I dislike, which is the April 2nd low to the April 30th high. This had about a 4.3 on my power law vector indicator number, but it had a 7.3 on the downside. So you came down with energy, you've bounced and kind of filled this big gap down from the 9th, but you certainly didn't do it with volume. This may be just an oversold bounce. I question whether or not we're going to have a good couple of days here going forward. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, or like Dave from Framingham, you can call me, as I wish you would do. Okay, other things going on out here. We looked at Boot, didn't we? Did I look at Boot? Didn't think so. Again, just a lot of these stocks that just because they're not going out of business are going higher. I don't know how Boot Barn Holdings justifies a move worthy of semiconductor stocks with blowout earnings, but I think just a lot of these stocks not going out of business. Is that basically what we're talking about here today? Even stocks like Kohl's, who haven't gotten any better, but again, just haven't gone out of business, continue to pop up on this kind of news. You got kind of a big dragonfly doji in Kohl's today as it gets back up in here to its resistance level right at 66 bucks. Of course, Macy came out and led the parade up 10% higher today. And what is that going to do? It takes you right into extremely long-term resistance, a confluence level right at 35. What is that? 34.25. So you're about a buck under where this thing has got some pretty massive resistance. And I don't understand the whole idea of how all these malls are closing, but Macy's is going to do better. I think they got, what 100 malls closed this year after Christmas? I know a lot of them aren't big. Maybe some of them are strip malls. But I thought these were big stores, that big malls that Macy was in. I just don't see it. And I guess I've gone by a couple of malls here in Tampa. Maybe we haven't had the bad weather. Maybe the bad weather forced everybody up north into these malls. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Walmart, how it's doing. I'm a little nervous up here. It's high level. I don't think anything's really changed. We'll be back after this.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how EverBank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? EverBank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're going to go west to Robert in Colorado. I guess we were going to go to Robert in Colorado. Maybe you'll call back. Let's go ahead and look at Blink. John from Philadelphia in the den reminded me this is one of the stocks that I didn't bring up. I brought it up earlier in the den before the market started. But a lot of these stocks just, I mean, ripping from $2 to $8. No, I mean, you went sideways on these things, but it's not like they just went up for a day. I mean, these things, like I said, what was the other one that I was talking about? I forget. Oh, here. These things bounced, gone up, and then they just go up, up and up and up. And this is the pattern right before you see some really scary stuff generally in the market. And that is why I am kind of a little reticent to think that we're going a lot higher and that we might have some decent pullback in this market. All the ones I've had before, not easy to put a caliper on these, but you see these companies that no one's ever heard of. They come out of obscurity. They run for a handful of days. Everybody thinks that wonderful times are here again. Now, maybe this company deserves this, but I don't know. How a charging station, a place where you just go plug your car in, is worth $8. Why do you need one of these? Won't these be everywhere? I don't know. I see a lot of stores that open up, and you think, well, this is kind of interesting idea. Everybody does it, and they're out of business in a year. Or the idea just doesn't hang on. But my guess is if you're actually selling the devices, maybe there's a business in there. But just being a recharging station, I don't understand how you make that much money. I mean, the electricity to fully charge a Tesla is what, 75 cents? Maybe $1. So you got some nice profit margin because whatever they're doing doesn't cost you much. The equipment's probably fairly expensive. There's at least some standardization on the plug that plugs into your vehicle. But again, I don't understand the business model on this, where everybody can't do the exact same thing just because it's a Whole Foods. Don't know that. Maybe the idea is that they're going to have some kind of incumbent position. But anyway, I don't understand the story, don't understand why this thing takes off. It's basically electricity and some fairly basic circuits. So maybe someone will call in and tell me where one of these things comes in and why these things do so well, or why everybody thinks these things do so well. But to me, I don't understand the business model. And generally, if I don't understand it, there probably isn't one. Tesla actually holding up fairly well in this sector today for as bad news as they are getting. Up a little bounce off this big day that they had back on the 4th of April when it came up on 20 million shares. Ran into it yesterday with 9.5 million shares. It's up with 4.3. Options kind of show that this thing closes out at about $300 on Friday. Maybe that changes today with some of the bad news. But I think you got most of the bad news in today on Tesla. The plant's closing, everything else. Now, the one that kind of interests me is Facebook today, Fakebook. The CEO says that he will run out there to jolly old England and take a tar and feathering because they were threatening to arrest him if he ever traveled to any country that was a part of the United Kingdom. So he's going now. So we're going to have another couple of days of testimony in front of some blowhards. And if you think our blowhards are bad here in the United States in Congress, wait until you get to the blowhards in the UK. These MPs, or at least some of them, they kind of make, I don't know who, Maxine Waters as a paragon of mental health. Completely nuts and wacko. I always love watching the Sunday night, what is that, C-SPAN stuff, where the Prime Minister has to go before the House of Commons and have a bunch of people ask him, does he still beat his wife kind of questions. It's kind of humbling, I think. I think maybe America would be better with that too. But it's... but that's kind of it. So I don't know. What else do you got going on in that? You know, you came up right to where the thing fell apart, which is on the 5th of February. You kind of went sideways as you got into those days where everybody was beating it like a red-headed stepchild, which I wonder whether he is or not. Zuckerberg. Anyway, more interesting to me today was the incoming he was getting from other Silicon Valley people. The CEO of CRM likened Facebook to the cigarette companies today. He said it is the cigarette company of Silicon Valley with Salesforce. It's up a little higher today. Kind of interesting on light volume. Did test the previous March 14th high at on Salesforce on 128.87. I hate it when someone changes the conversation. It doesn't tell you. My friend's mom's always doing that. It's like I get 5 minutes into a thing and going, this doesn't make any sense at all. And, of course, 5 minutes before, she had already changed who she was talking about, but never says. March 14th, 128.87, 6.12 million shares on Salesforce. Got into it with 4.6 million shares. So when is earnings on this? Next one, CRM. May 29th. So we're coming up on that. This is probably not going to pull back that much. But again, these tech stocks all have this pattern, which I hate, which is heavily down. This one got a 6.8 on my Power Law Vector indicator number from the March 14th high down to the March 28th low, and a 4.1 on the way back up to the 131 high on May 10th. Now, can you still hang out at these highs? Looking a week or two away from options, from earnings? I think the answer is yes. But you know what? just not a lot of juice. What a lot of people front running this. Yes, you can use that. But interestingly enough, anyway, Mark Benioff, I think his name is, from Salesforce, saying that Facebook is the cigarettes of Silicon Valley. Yep. Be back in a minute. Wrap up the show.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Are you an options trader that's looking for that extra edge when placing trades? David White will be hosting a webinar on May 16th, which is the Wednesday leading up to Options Expiration Friday in May, where he'll discuss in depth the methodology he uses for trading options near expiration, including swing trading setups and expiration day trading scenarios. Subscribers to each of Dave's newsletters, Path of Least Resistance and the Technology Insider, gain access to this 60-minute webinar, which will be archived if you cannot attend live. Dave has had some great option trades recently for his subscribers. See for yourself the trading methodology he uses when trading options by signing up today for either of his newsletters, and we'll see you Wednesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. for option trading near expiration, analyzing swing trades and expiration day scenarios. For all the details and to sign up today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
One of the keys to success in anything is the ability to make new distinctions. So what new distinctions are you making to achieve even more success in your life? When it comes to trading and investing, I wanted to become the best of the best, which is why I went on to make new distinctions. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest have been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as the #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 in gold. On Wednesday, May 23rd at 5 p.m., I'm going to share with subscribers one of my newest distinctions, which is how to follow the money and do so in multiple currencies. You see, money has to flow somewhere, and with the world getting smaller and smaller each day, you and I can identify exactly where most of the money in the world is flowing. Sign up for Mastering Probability by coming to the homepage of TFNN.com to begin your 30-day money-back guaranteed trial membership and learn the exact tools that I use to time the markets. And if you can't attend live, don't worry, because the workshop will be archived on your members page for the next 30 days. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And Hector from California asks, talking about redheaded kids getting slapped around a bit, redheaded stepchilds. Want to look at AKS. Energy was about the same on the way up as the way down. You have not tested this high volume low, which is the $4 mark on November 15th. That had 23 million shares. You got into that candle with 31 million shares. So, man, the best thing that you could do on this one is give it 2 weeks and let it base out. Don't see any reason to get in this one. That was the energy up and down, and my theory is that if the energy is the same up and the way down and the volume's heavier, the best you can hope for is consolidation. Almost the exact same thing out here in Cody, except a test of the previous low on lighter volume and just a little bit lighter on the way down off the February 20th high. So a little bit longer to go in AKS steel. Cody looks good on the light volume, although you did have a kind of a hard day on the 9th. It did test the previous low. It's closed back in. So that is a buy signal. Again, I just don't like, you're going into next week. Probably the reason to buy Cody would be if it had a big short position and the market starts moving up on lighter volume. Let's see what it has here real quick. Yeah, okay. Good reason for this one. I think this is the reason why I brought it up before. This one's got 13 days to cover. So I don't know if you want to be in it, but man, if we get a light volume move higher next week, this would be very interesting in the fact that this thing has 13 days to cover. Interesting. I'm going to have to look at this one a lot more. Anyway, we're going to be talking about this kind of stuff tonight at 5 or a little after 5 in my webinar about trading options. We'll talk about this kind of stuff too, though. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.